Welcome to the KPC Smart Money Podcast. And today we want to talk about preparing for college and what some of the financial considerations are for college students. You know, Kevin, we find when a lot of our kids go off to college, they don't really know a whole lot about finances, and yet they're embarking in one of the most expensive four-year journeys they might ever take, right? You know, but with tuition more than doubling since the 1960s, it's essential to plan wisely to ensure a smooth transition in and through your college years. So we just want to share some practical financial tips. If you've got kids going to college, or if you happen to be listening to this, one is you need some budgeting basics, okay? As a student, go ahead, create a budget, outline your expenses, and you're going to have some, in college, you're going to have tuition, books, housing, food. You should put a little bit of fun money in there because we know college is kind of about having fun too. And you need to adjust it each year as necessary.
Yeah. Karen, before we go any further, I think growing up, a lot of kids will think, well, it's our parents' job to save enough money to send me to college, right?
Right.
But I see your face right now. Is that what happened at your house?
No. I mean,
what happened at your house?
My dad put money aside for college, but it was X amount of money. And that was that. And I had to live within that money. My brother Mark did it great too. He did the same thing. He says, we're putting away some money and here it is, but you're going to have to pick the school wisely, in-state, out-of-state. And anything above and beyond this, you're paying with yourself, or you, child, are taking student loans out for it.
So you're saying to get, the kids need to be involved in the process.
Got to have some skin in the game.
Well, yeah, because if you don't, they'll wind up just going that first year. You just, a lot of kids just go wild and flunk out. That's why a lot of times, like you look at the University of Texas, they would rather have somebody that had, a 2-year degree from a junior college, right? They've shown the commitment, than have someone that has high grades that's a freshman. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Because the likelihood that that person that may have not had the very best grades or scores on their SAT is more likely to finish and stay in school when they have the 2-year degree. So something that you need to do is you need to educate about responsible borrowing. I hear these stories about the hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loans. It breaks my heart, knowing the input. Of course, there's somebody up there in Washington that just says, yeah, we'll just pay it for you, don't worry about it. But that's not going to last. Knowing the implications of student loans, you should know it. And the importance of borrowing responsibly is crucial. Talk honestly and regularly with your student about the long-term impact of student loan debt on financial goals post-graduation.
Yeah, absolutely. And you need to explore or revisit financial aid. Securing financial aid isn't like a one-time affair. It's ongoing. You got to do it every year. So every fall, revisit your student financial aid. It's called the FAFSA. You've got to complete it, and you've got to complete it well. And, if there's scholarships out there, if you do something unique, go look for those scholarships. That is free money.
So here's another thing. You need to understand your tax advantage savings plans. If you have a 529 plan or a Coverdell Education Savings Account, also known as an ESA, ensure you and your student know how to use it. These accounts after tax benefits can help offset the burden of tuition and related costs, but distributions must be used for qualifying expenses.
Yes. So you want to make sure if you're spending it, you know what those qualified expenses are. And listen, what about part-time work? I know that focusing on your studies is essential, but encourage your student, your grandchild, your child, or yourself. Think about part-time work or maybe internships. Internships can supplement your income, but it can also give you great work experience. A lot of companies, when they take on interns, you know what they're really looking for? New employees.
Yeah, it's good. So, you know what? Take advantage of student discounts and resources. Apple, Verizon, Sam's Club, and Amazon Prime are just a few of the companies that offer education discounts. You can find a comprehensive list to help your student maximize these opportunities. Google's a powerful thing.
Yes, it is.
And whatever your politics, doesn't matter. You can find out what mostly anything you need, when you Google or DuckDuckGo or whatever you use. Additionally, encourage your student to utilize campus resources such as career services and financial literacy programs.
Yeah, that would be good. You're there to learn, and I know you're there to learn a topic, a specific, going for a specific degree. But this is a time in your life where there's a lot of other things that you need to learn, and basic budgeting is one of them. So now you've got a plan on how do you repay this. Your graduation might be 1 year away, 4 years away, but you need to develop a post-graduation loan repayment schedule, considering factors as, how much money are you going to make? Income-driven repayment loans. How about loan consolidation or strategies for accelerating debt repayment? If you've been through this process before, you're going to have different interest rates on those loans. They're more than happy to have you pay them off over 10 plus years. But let me tell you, that's like having a credit card for a long time. You are paying interest, and you're paying down very little principal. The longer it takes for you to pay that student loan off, the better it is for the financial institution that loaned you that money.
Yeah. Let me also say something that's being a financial advisor, something that Karen and I know a little bit about. Parents, I know this may sound weird, but if your kids are young enough, you can take out a cash value life insurance policy. We prefer fixed index universal life, and we don't have, a real long time here to go into the ins and outs of it. But let's just say that if your child is young enough and you say you have, say, at least 10 years or at least 10, let's just say, before they go off to college, you can start paying into an indexed universal life policy that's going to grow cash. And the way that you do that is you're not interested in the death benefit. You're interested in the tax-free cash that you're going to take out to help your child pay for college. So let me explain. What you're going to do is you're going to find an agent that knows about this, and you're going to say these words: we want the max cash minimum death benefit, and we're willing to put in $10,000 a year or $5,000 a year or $20,000, whatever the number is that you can afford, and you can get an illustration showing that in 10 years, how much cash is likely to be in this type of instrument. Now, here's the key. If you are going to try to get loans and you're going to fill out the FAFSA form, I forget what that stands for.
FAFSA. Yeah.
Do you remember what it stands for? Financial aid, student something loan thing. But nevertheless, these index universal life policies do not even show up on the FAFSA form.
You don't have to report them.
Yes, that's right. So whatever cash that you can take out of that, and here's the other key to it, the cash comes out tax-free. So if you want to look into something like that, you can contact us at kpcsmartmoney.com or kpcfinancialsolutions.com.
Or call us 877-KPC-PLAN.
Yeah, that's right. But also, just wrapping this up, the last thing is you need to prepare for emergency. Establishing an emergency fund is crucial to prepare for unexpected expenses that may rise during the college years. Additionally, consider creating essential legal documents such as power of attorney, a living will, and a HIPAA authorization for a young adult.
Yeah. So, one other idea real quick is you might want to get a credit card, but be responsible for it. A credit card that you can pay, you only put something on it, small amounts every month, and make sure you pay it off every month so that you can start building a good credit score before you get out. I'm always shocked at how many people haven't thought about building a credit score. So We hope you found these tips helpful, and feel free to share this with anybody. Remember to get your complimentary resource that's on the KPC Smart Money page at the end of this podcast, and we look forward to talking to you next week.
KPC Financial Solutions is an independent financial services firm that utilizes a variety of investment and insurance products. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through KPC Financial Solutions, LLC, a registered investment company. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any reference to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as the sole basis for financial decisions, nor should be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. KPC Financial Solutions is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by KPC Financial Solutions. Hypothetical examples have been provided for illustrative purposes only. It does not represent a real-life scenario and should not be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual's situation.